68, we're great. Love ends hate. Not too late. NPR interviewed lawyer Leonard Rubenstein of Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School. He discussed the Israel Defense Forces invasions of Gaza hospitals where Hamas soldiers may have been hiding and operating. Would the IDF be allowed under international law to conduct military operations within hospitals? He was asked. His answer: if Hamas itself had infiltrated hospitals, the medical facilities become legitimate targets. However, the Geneva Conventions require all patients be removed to other safe locations, continuing unbroken patient care. All instances of combat hurting hospital patients are war crimes. The IDF cut power to hospitals, causing many patients needing electronic life support to die. The entire history of international prosecutions of war crimes, however, has not included a single charge, much less conviction, of hospital attacking, despite over a century of worldwide fatal to civilians assaults on thousands of hospitals. Before I insist that your treaty include war crime prosecution thousands of times stronger than the near total impotence of all war conduct laws put together so far, let's state the obvious. The only just non-criminal war effort is own nation defense 100% against invading troops only. The thousands of wars since the First World War, 99% savage civilians. The world full of treaties, war crime conventions, and courts have not stopped or levied justice after the crimes for even one of every 1,000 murders of innocents. Far over 90% of our last century's 300 million war deaths and 10 millennia's billion were civilian slaughtering war crimes. No separate justice for war crime will ever be 1% achieved without disarmament, ending most all war, period. My brainstorm for the ultimate war crime justice in our world of total maximum war? Forget about it. Most of my speeches hammer and detail peace law, but I have yet to steadily itemize what our border defenses only, swords into plowshares treaty would be. Probably because the minute I shut up, one of you is going to write and sell 1,000 times better, more expert version. 186 nations without nukes must make Russia, the U.S., China, France, Britain, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea give up theirs. Total embargo will be our certain, essential last resort. Only when all 9 crack, they must agree to a 10% per year destruction of bombs, missiles, bombers, submarines, and all fissile materials not strictly confined to nuclear power plants, not allowed any chance to divert the plutonium byproduct to bombs. Nuclear power phase-out is necessary to then close and guard every uranium mine or possible mine on Earth. Nuclear weapons are kept by massive conventional warriors as their plan B when armies lose. The Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty called for conventional, not just universal nuclear disarmament, both with zero scheduling and enforcement, making both utopian goals not worth the paper they were printed on. You must recruit all 195 nations, most not massively corrupted and armed, thus persuadable. All who enter the treaty will model careful conventional army and arms industry cuts because titanic warrior holdouts could take military advantage. retain enough military forces that 100 nations at a time could defend single invasion victims. Form our own United Nations minus any giant bully Security Council often forcing their own individual aggression. A single General Assembly 80% vote will authorize peacekeeping military intervention, planned to become unnecessary when Plan A succeeds. No national army must retain large foreign invasion capacity, then allowing modest world border defenses to achieve billions of times the national security that 10,000 years of liars claimed that only scorched earth mega militaries could. Today, billionaire weaponeers, haters of all unlike them, and power freaks bribe leaders to gather millions of soldiers, tons of TNT, and megatons of uranium. They have fully captured a minority of nations. We'll recruit the peaceful, less corrupt majority as fast as we can to hammer not just every holdout national leader, but their own populations via the internet. The schools I have described, treaty mandated to bring the world together in love and crisis cooperation, will have to be exploded by you and I long before world treaty success to, in fact, bring it about. Let's pound swords into plowshares. Don't be fooled by ever more catastrophic floods. Most of the world's regular rain, rivers, lakes, farms, forests, and municipal water supplies are doomed in shockingly few years as stratosphere CO2 climbs several more decades, even as emissions might drop. Forest death soon finishes humanity in a flash as 2025's already catastrophic total emissions quintuple. Forest irrigation or extinction. Okay, but that doesn't bring back one raindrop. Only a percentage of every national budget on Earth can return natural precipitation for trees, lakes, and crops. Invested in massive size, power, and numbers of atmosphere CO2 removal factories, combined with prompt reduction to net zero human emissions. Another 5% of your taxes must build 2 core sheets offshore worldwide to directly hydrate humanity's coastal half and pipe capture floods for delivery to the other half. Only uncorrupted, non-military governments can possibly find the money, honey. Short of each nation's full ratified treaty tenets enforced, you sue for every bit of this in every federal court on earth. Just as every court decision accesses full enforcement, so our treaty must too. We'll favor carrots over sticks. Build the CO2 plants, and every nation possible will help you with the technology. Nations help each other with flood capture technology, ready to pipe into dry neighbor nations when your floods allow. Huge trade deals for cooperative treaty partners, but 100% product, raw material, banking, and communication embargoes against power-mad holdouts. Now you can't even keep frantic, broke, infuriated citizens from storming government buildings. You want power, punks? Get it from 170 nation love. You can't handle our punishment. 1 billion activists will be the 12% to capture the endorsement and help of the rest. Each and every one of us better than anyone else at our special scheme of contribution. Ain't I sparked you better than other reformers? That's how most everyone is gifted, talented, and driven to help with your own unique, never-before-created genius and worth. Start right now with a few big breaths you always used to hiss out in sighs of resignation. Except now we're tanking up brains and muscles for happy, confident action to help. Just what the doctor ordered for our world of hurt.